Hey, good morning, people. Welcome. It's good to be with you today. We're talking about standing in awe, and we've covered a few aspects of what it means to do that. I want to take you today to the book of Jeremiah and then to the book of Malachi. The book of Jeremiah is God's prophecy, kind of like doom and gloom to the people because they had rejected him, they had walked in their own ways. But then all of a sudden there's this beautiful change of tone from God's point of view, and God says, you will stand in awe at what I'm going to do for you. You see, God believes and knows full well that the future is important. What we believe God is going to do in our future is critical to our spiritual well-being right now. You can't forever live off the misery of the past. There's got to come a time when you draw a line in the sand and you say, that was as it was. I messed up. I didn't do well. Circumstances were all over me. Coronavirus did a job on me. The businesses did all. But there comes a time, people, and as we draw towards the end of this year, I trust that you will draw that line in the sand and say, you know what, bit of a disappointing experience. There are going to be others who will say, man, it was awesome. It was, I don't know what you're talking about, Trev. It was a great year. But I think for most of us, there may be elements of regret and of doubt and certainly a lot of sadness out there. But God is saying that is then. And then is not now. Now is now. And he prophesies so beautifully to Jeremiah, and he tells him what this future hope is going to look like. I encourage you to go and read the whole chapter. But let me just read to you the last few verses from verse 6. Nevertheless, God says, despite all that's happened, I will bring health and healing to you. I will heal my people. I will let them enjoy abundant peace and security. I will bring Judah and Israel back from captivity, and I will rebuild them as they were before. It's costing great vision and incredible hope here. I will cleanse them from all their sin they have committed against me, and will forgive all their sin of rebellion against me. Then the city will bring me renown, joy, praise, and honor before all the nations on earth that hear of all the good news I do for it. They will be in awe, and will tremble at the abundant prosperity and the peace I have provided for it. It's a beautiful promise, isn't it? That God promises to restore, in a sense, like the other prophet says, the years that the locusts have eaten. And God says, I'm going to do a great thing. And the great thing is not to fix your past. The great thing is to give you an incredible future. But now I want to take you to another verse. And the reason I want to do this is because so often in life we grab onto these beautiful promises and we say, man, that's what God has promised me. He's going to do this. He's going to forgive my sin. He's going to restore the years the locusts have eaten. He's going to do all those wonderful things, and I'm going to hold him to it. Well, before you start getting too cocky, then listen to what Malachi has to say. The book of Malachi is talking about what it means to honor God before you derive blessing. And he says this, and you will know that I have sent you this admonition so that my covenant with Levi may continue. You see, God made a covenant with Levi that Levi was going to lead the priestly tribe. He was going to be the spiritual voice into the children of Israel. And now all of a sudden the other people are saying, well, we don't like Levi anymore. And God's saying to them, but my covenant was with him. My covenant was with Levi, and he's going to be the source of great blessing. If you don't want him, then you probably don't want me either. But they said, yeah, we want you, but we don't want Levi. And God says, you can't have that. You've got to have Levi as well. He says this, my covenant with him, Levi, was a covenant of peace, of life. And I gave them to him this call for reverence, and he revered me, and he stood in awe of my name. Hey, people. Yeah, you want the blessing of God? And it's awesome. Yeah, take nothing away from it. The promise is great. But the prerequisite is that we stand in awe of his name. And that simply means, I guess, if you look in biblical terms, it means please just don't take the name of the Lord in vain. Because when you take the name of the Lord in vain, you can nowhere come close to claiming that beautiful promise that was first given in Jeremiah. You've got to stand in awe, which means don't mess with the name of God. Don't touch the reputation of God. Don't touch the glory of God. It belongs to Him. And Malachi is saying, if you want the blessing, then the prerequisite, stand in awe and honor Him in all things. You know, when we talk about taking the name of the Lord in vain, many people think that that just means I mustn't blaspheme the name of Jesus. It means that, but a whole lot more. You know, when we participate the way the world would want us to participate, we take His name in vain. When we laugh at the jokes that the world laughs at, we take His name in vain. When we look to the side, when people bring down the name and the reputation of Jesus, we take His name in vain more by the things that we do than the things that we say. And so I'm encouraging you, want the blessing of God, then live out as a Christian, honoring God in all these things. In other words, stand in awe of Him. I remember, and I'm sure that many of you will have heard this little illustration. I think Alexander the Great was sitting on his throne one day, having conquered great nations and been out to battle. And a kid was brought in front of him who allegedly had been a deserter. And in those days, they just killed their deserters. You know, if you were a deserter, then you were just killed, because they realized that a bad soldier is worse than no soldier at all. And so they would kill them. And so Alexander said to this young man, he said, "Young man, what is your name?" And he said to him, "Sir, my name is Alexander." And Alexander, with a deep sense of wisdom, said to this young man, he said, "Young man, either change your name or change your behavior. Don't take my name in vain." And so when we look at what God has promised people, and it's awesome, is it not? The whole list is there. Go home and read it, put it on your fridge, stick it on your toilet door. I don't know what you're going to do with it. But just believe that God has something great for you. But the prerequisite is, don't take His name in vain. Let's honor Him with everything we do, and then watch what God will do to pour out His blessing into your life. Let's continue to stand in awe of Him. Thanks for listening to me, folks. You're going to have a great day. Bye.